Everybody, welcome to my channel. First, I just want to start by saying, thank you so much for engaging. Thank you so much for, watching the videos, making comments. I really appreciate all the support, and all of this gives me a good insight as to what sort of content I should be producing for this channel. So today's topic is, how to make money. This is something that I had received a lot of requests for on my Instagram. A lot of you, my audience, want to learn how to make money. I think I'd like to start by first prefacing and saying that I'm not a money expert. I'm not somebody who's made millions and millions of dollars. So I don't really have that much experience as of yet. But I do know some certain principles and some certain skills and knowledge that I think can help you as my audience to learn a bit about how you can actually go make money. So when I talk about principles, I think there's two very key principles that you need to understand when it comes to making money. These principles are, the first one being is that in order to make money, you need money, right? The way you can think about it is that, if you were to get into business and let's say you wanted to sell shoes, for example, right? In order to sell these shoes, right, you would need money to acquire these shoes. You'd need money to market these shoes on the different social media platforms or through a website, etc., right? So essentially, you would need money initially as capital in order to begin selling these shoes, right? On the flip side, right, you can also think about it in terms of like in a more traditional career, right? Say you wanted to be a software engineer, for example, right? In order to be a software engineer, you need to invest in acquiring the skills and the knowledge in order to do computer programming and to do all other software engineering practices. We're learning the different softwares, the different tools, programming languages, etc. And you'd still need money in order to make those investments. So the first principle, like I said, is you need money in order to make money. That's like a fundamental principle. Now you might be sitting there and wondering like, okay, so Joe, how do I get this money that I need to invest, right, to make even more money, right? It's very simple, right? Get a job, right? Get a job, get an internship. You could work on Uber Eats, you could freelance, you could tutor. Like there's just so many things you could do to just start generating an income. What I'd advise you is, first do an audit, a reflection on yourself, right? Think about what sort of skills and knowledge that you have that you can use to generate an income from, right, within the market. And then, once you generate enough income, you can then now take that money that you have generated and begin to invest it into some of the things that I'll be speaking about in this specific video. Now, the next principle that you need to really understand is that in order to make money, you need to bring value to the market, right? So the market is everything, or is what we have in society, right? It's what is used to trade. It's what is used for commerce, right? The market is you, the market is me, the market is corporations, the market is society. That is the market in essence, what the market is, okay? In order to bring value to the market, you need to help or solve problems for whether it's people, organizations within these specific marketplaces, right? And there's a direct correlation between the amount and number of number of people that you help within the market and the amount of money that you can make as a result from helping all these people, right? So you help people by solving needs and solving problems, right? And in return, you get rewarded for solving these problems. And this reward is in the form of money. So when it comes to solving problems, there's kind of like two key areas that you can solve problems for people. You can either save people money, or you can save people time, or you can actually do a combination of three. And the way you make money from this is that if you save people time, you make a little bit of money. If you save people money, then you make even more money. And if you save people both time and money, then you make an exponential amount of money, right? So those are sort of the fundamental principles that you need to first understand when it comes to making money, right? The first one being is that, you need money to make money. So my advice is, get a job or use this current skill sets or knowledge that you have to either start a business or do tutoring or, some form of activity that you can do to generate an income. And the second principle is that, you need to be providing value to the marketplace in order to make money, right? You get rewarded in a direct correlation to the amount of value that you're bringing into the marketplace, right? So now let's talk about actual specifics, right? Like, how do you go about actually making money, right? Um, Keeping in mind what those two principles that I just mentioned initially are, right? I see that there's sort of two approaches that people can take when it comes to making money. There's the entrepreneurial route, which is, starting a business and, generating income through that. And then there's also the traditional career route, right? Whether, you pursue a specific career, a high income earning career, right? That can make you a lot of money over a long period of time, right? So now I'm going to sort of like go into each of those areas to sort of address, sort of look at the pros and cons of each side to give you guys a good idea as to what approach you want to take, right? So now let's start out with first being the traditional career route, right? In the traditional career route, these are things like, becoming a doctor, becoming a lawyer, becoming an engineer, becoming a software engineer. These are traditionally high income earning careers, right? That, you can make a lot of money from. You have doctors making 6 figures plus, in software engineers making 6 figures plus, right? You can make a lot of money from pursuing these particular careers, right? So when it comes to going through a traditional career route, like say being a doctor or being a software engineer or a lawyer, the typical path is that, you want to pursue a higher education, you want to go to university, you want to further yourself in your education, and then through over however many number of years that it needs to take in order to receive the qualifications, you would then hopefully get hired by a specific company, and you'd be paid a substantial amount of money for the amount of investment that you made in your career in pursuing a career of a specific profession, right? And you've seen this, like doctors spend several years, lawyers as well, you need medical practice, law practice. And typically, so I would say when it comes to traditional careers, right, often you get paid according to how much value you generate for a specific company. So really your ability to make money is determined by, one, how valuable the company sees you, and two, how much value you generate for that specific company, right? So if you're making, let's say for example, if you directly relate to the revenue of a company increasing by, let's say 10% on a yearly basis, right? You might be paid only 1% of that, right? Or you might be paid the standard rate of what your specific profession is or what the salary level is. So if you're a software engineer living in New York City or San Francisco, right? The typical salary is 100,000 US dollars per year, right? 100,000 US dollars plus per year. That's base salary for a software engineer living in San Francisco or New York City, right? And over the years, as you get more experienced and you gain more knowledge, right, your salary sort of increases at a steady rate, right? Now, when it comes to entrepreneurship, right, the rate at which your income increases is exponential, right? It's not as steady as a traditional career, but it's much more it's like it sort of starts out flat like this, and then at some point you sort of reach this inflection point where it either drops to zero or it sort of takes off like a rocket, and it sort of creates this J curve. So you can look that up to see what a J curve is and what exponential growth looks like. It's very common in the startup scene, but that's typically on an entrepreneurship route how your income grows over a couple of years, right? So now let's talk a little bit about specifics, right? Especially when it comes to entrepreneurship, right? In entrepreneurship, going back to the first principle is that, you need to bring value to the market, right? And the way you do this is through gaining high income earning skills, right? So what are some of these high income earning skills, right? I sort of indicated it earlier in what I was speaking about, like being a software engineer, that's a high income earning skill, right? If you can write code, build websites for people, build different softwares, right? You can make a lot of money just from doing that. What are other examples? Like sales. Sales is a high income earning skill, right? In any profession, you need to be able to sell yourself. You need to be able to sell products, sell services, right? It's a very high income earning, and in fact, like depending on how hard you work and how knowledgeable and experienced you are, like the returns can be exponential, right? If you're earning commissions on every single product you're selling, right? Really, you make more money the more you sell, essentially. Other skills could be like video editing, things like copywriting. That's a very high income earning skill as well. But you can literally just like spend some time to do research on what some high income earning skills are. Just do a quick Google search, check on YouTube, and I'm sure you can find a lot of content around what some of those skills are, right? So the first thing is, you want to educate yourself on these skills. You want to spend the time to invest in learning these skills, learn how to, if you decide to do video editing, learn how to actually like use the editing softwares that are popular. And then once you in a position where you are skilled enough to actually market yourself, and what's typically a good sign that you are skilled enough to market yourself as a specific, you market yourself according to that skill that you just learned, is that if you have a portfolio, right? So if you're a software engineer, or if you want to go out as a copywriter or a salesperson, you want to have, whether it's a resume or a portfolio of work that demonstrates that you're capable of performing this specific task or skill that you're trying to get paid for, right? So once you do that, right, the next thing you want to do is that you want to spend some time, reaching out to your network, your friends, your family, reaching out on, posting on social media, and just using that extended network. Just market yourself as like, hey, I'm this person. I have, for example, software engineering skills. I can make websites for people. If you need a website or anything like that, you can hire me to do a specific service, and I'll be happy to. And you charge them a specific fee for that, right? One caveat to this is that initially when you're starting out, you want to start your rate very, very low, or possibly even free if possible, because the purpose of this is that you want to sort of build your credibility and gain a reputation. You want to build your professional experience as well, working in this skill. And as you keep on, building your professional experience, you're also building your portfolio. You're getting client referrals. You're getting testimonials as well, which just really gains your credibility. And like you essentially, as you keep on, learning the skill and building your client list and working with different people, what will happen is that you reach a point where you can actually begin to raise your rate at which you charge people, because at this point, your time is a lot more valuable based on how much demand that there is in the market for it, right? And this is all related to the amount of the skill that you're providing into the market. Yeah, so definitely focus on a high income earning skill, learning a high income earning skill. From my experience, I studied computer science in university, and one of the things I did is I freelanced as a software engineer and a web developer. At one point during my college career, I was making between $500 to $2,000 every couple of months just from building websites, doing consultations, etc. So you can make quite a significant amount of money, depending on how much time you invest into it. You can upskill and learn more, gain more experience, credibility, build a whole client list, and essentially you can create a whole income. You can build a whole lifestyle around this high income skill that you're learning. So now let's talk about how to make money through the business route, through entrepreneurship, right? The principles still apply the same, right? You need money to make money. Two, you need to bring value to the marketplace, right? That's a fundamental thing. You need to solve a need and create a business around that need that you're solving, right? So my recommendation is that if you're going to go the business route, especially in today's day and age, avoid, actually, not going to say avoid. If you're going to go the business route, especially in this day and age, you want to leverage some of the new technology. Go the business route. My recommendation is that you want to do a business that either leverages media or leverages technology, right? These are two mediums that are very common in today's day and age and have led to a lot of companies making quite a lot of money and building a lot of wealth from just leveraging those two mediums. You know, you can think of companies like Apple, Facebook. These are primarily tech companies. YouTube, it's a primarily tech company that uses media as a medium. You know, so in 2022 going forward, you know, you definitely want to start a business that's primarily online because it gives you the most flexibility and has the highest potential of scaling, right? With online businesses, your initial cost of starting are relatively low, if not free. You know, it doesn't cost you much to set up a website. It doesn't cost you much to put a video on YouTube. So definitely, if you're thinking about business, you know, make sure it's an online-based business that is leveraging either media or technology, or it can also be like an online skill-based business, right? If you are a video editor, right, and you market yourself online, that's a form of online skill-based business that you can take. So yeah, those are my basic insights about how to make money. You know, let me know in the comments below what you think about this, the insights that I'm giving and sharing. Happy to have a conversation a bit more about it. By all means, feel free to do as much research as you can. Happy to, you know, coach anyone a bit more about what approaches to take according to their needs in life, and you know what works best for what their goals and dreams are. So you can check right below in the description of this video. All my courses, all my coaching programs are available in the description. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.